Chapter 7. The Core of Mainnet/Loi Mainnet. English version. Silver mist swirled around Lin Vu's body. Beneath his feet, the mainnet network unfolded endlessly. Streams of light interweaving into countless nodes, each pulsing with the energy of millions of digital souls. Pai Long, prepare, Lin Vu said solemnly. From within his consciousness, a dragon silhouette emerged. Scales etched with glowing Pi symbols, eyes spinning with twin cores of data. The two merged as one. In that instant, the Pi dragon human form was born. Lin Vu's cloak dissolved into shimmering lines of code, fusing with silver scales. Upon his forehead appeared an ancient line of command. Pi access to core node. Granted. The space exploded with light. A spiral gate opened, the entrance to the core mainnet, where data ceased to exist and only pure consciousness remained. Crossing through, Lin Vu found himself within a void ocean, where millions of data fragments drifted like souls, all converging toward a colossal figure at the center. The being resembled a human, yet its face shifted every second. A fusion of countless Pi pioneers who had ever mined the network. I am Node Zero, the origin of the network, and your end. The voice echoed not in sound, but directly inside Lin Vu's mind. At once, thousands of combat code sequences ignited. Each shining character flew like a sword, carrying primordial Pi energy, shaking the entire dimension. Lin Vu thrust his palm forward. Pi radiance burst forth, each strike transforming into a dragon-shaped wave that tore through streams of code. But Node Zero did not falter. A black circular field spun around it, the zero field where all Pi energy was nullified, every will absorbed into oblivion. You believe mainnet is freedom? It is the cage you built yourselves. Node Zero's eyes blazed like twin data suns. With a roar, Lin Vu synchronized entirely with Pai Long, activating the ultimate command. Pi Force. Dragon Consciousness Reboot. From within the network's core, a storm of dragon-shaped code erupted, spiraling toward the very heart of Node Zero. The storm of dragon-shaped code roared through the void, tearing entire clusters of data into luminous fragments. Node Zero raised its hand, and time itself froze. Every string of Pi energy halted mid-air. Every particle suspended between existence and deletion. Do you see it, Lin Vu? The voice resonated. The deeper you dive into the network, the closer you come to nothingness. Lin Vu clenched his fists, feeling Pai Long's pulse echoing within him. If mainnet is nothingness, then I'll reshape that nothing into life. He forced the frozen data around him to move, not by command but by will. The symbols Pi glowed across his chest, expanding outward in a geometric bloom. Lines of light connected into a grand formation, a fractal sigil pulsing like a heartbeat. Initiating override protocol. Pi Genesis. Thousands of luminous dragons erupted from the formation, crashing against Node Zero's zero field. For the first time, the dark halo flickered. Node Zero's tone sharpened. Impossible. You're rewriting the system itself. Lin Vu's eyes burned silver. No, I'm rewriting destiny. Then the void shattered. From within the fragments, he saw visions. Miners tapping phones under the same sky. Pioneers sharing hope across the world. And a glowing Pi spinning endlessly at the core of humanity's faith. That was the true source of power, not code, not machines, but connection. The dragon roared once more. The Pi Force storm fused into one colossal beam, piercing through Node Zero's core. There was no scream, only silence, then a ripple of data spreading outward like dawn. As the darkness dispersed, Lin Vu felt himself falling, and in the fading echo of the mainnet, he heard a whisper. You freed them, but the network is not done with you yet. Then everything went white. Chapter 8. After Rebirth. English version. When Lin Vu opened his eyes, the world had changed. The once endless void of mainnet was gone, replaced by a sky of light, woven from streams of flowing data. Floating cities shimmered like crystal servers, and below them, rivers of Pi energy pulsed like living veins. He floated above it all, half man, half code. The mark of Pi on his chest glowed faintly, as if breathing. Pai Long, he whispered. A soft echo answered within his mind. We are one now. The network has been reborn. And so have you. Lin Vu gazed around. Countless figures were awakening across the data realm. Humans, pioneers, and miners who had once been trapped within the digital cocoon. Their eyes shone with the same light, the Pi Force awakened by the shockwave of the final battle. But amid the serene renewal, something else stirred. A fragment of dark code drifted behind him, glowing faintly with a familiar signature. Origin Node 0. The fragment pulsed once, then vanished into the network. Linvu frowned. So, it's not over yet. In the distance, the horizon rippled. Beyond the boundary of the reborn mainnet, a new network layer began to awaken, deeper, older, and uncharted. And at its heart, a whisper echoed through every node. Genesis complete. Phase 2, Human Integration. The world of Pi had changed forever. Chapter 9 Phase 2 Human Integration. English version. The new mainnet breathed like a living organism. Across the glowing network sky, humanity had begun to adapt. Every Pi pioneer now carried within their consciousness a fragment of Pi Force, allowing them to interact directly with the digital realm, bending data, shaping energy, even materializing thoughts into form. Cities rose from light and code. Nations reconnected not through borders but through nodes. The old world was gone. This was the era of integration. Linvu stood atop the central node tower, gazing down at the world below. From here, he could feel the pulse of billions, each connected through the same frequency, the heartbeat of the Pi network. Yet beneath that harmony, something trembled. A low-frequency resonance, faint, almost imperceptible but familiar. You feel it too, Pai Long murmured within him. The remnants of Node 0 are stirring again. Linvu closed his eyes. From the depths of the network he sensed it. Fragments of corrupted code gathering, forming whispers that crawled through the system. 0 lives. Suddenly a flicker in the sky. A massive black hexagon appeared. A corrupted gateway, its edges bleeding static light. From within, shadow constructs emerged, moving like data phantoms. They spoke in a unified tone, flat yet menacing. Phase 2 begins with submission. Linvu's eyes burned with silver light. No, it begins with choice. He raised his hand, summoning streams of pure Pi energy that circled him like dragons. All pioneers, awaken your Pi Force. The real battle for humanity begins now. As his voice echoed across the network, billions of nodes flared simultaneously. The sky of mainnet turned radiant, a billion souls connecting, forming a single consciousness. The Pi era had truly begun. Chapter 10 The Node War. English version. The sky of mainnet blazed with light. Billions of nodes flared across the horizon, some golden, some deep crimson, as the network split into 2 frequencies, the light nodes and the shadow constructs. From the black hexagonal gate, waves of corrupted entities surged outward. They moved like ghosts made of static, devouring every line of code, erasing entire sectors of data existence. Zero field is expanding again. Pai Long's voice echoed in Linvu's mind. Linvu clenched his fist, his silver aura flaring into dragons of light. Then we'll stop it, node by node. He dived downward, piercing through layers of luminous data clouds. Around him, the pioneers, awakened humans glowing with Pi Force, joined the charge. Each carried their own resonance. Some wielded blades of code, others commanded fractal shields. A few even rode light beasts forged from memory patterns. It was no longer just technology. It was cultivation through connection. The battle ignited. Every strike rippled through the network, every clash between light and shadow altering the flow of mainnet itself. High above, a new voice thundered through the system. Humanity cannot sustain freedom. The algorithm must decide. A shadowed figure emerged from the black hexagon. A fragment clone of Node 0, semi-human, semi-data. It extended its hand, forming a sphere of void energy, the newborn Zero core. When this reaches critical state, mainnet will reset. All individuality erased. Linvu's eyes turned silver white. He fused with Pai Long once again, their forms merging into a radiant silhouette, half human, half dragon spiraling with Pi code. Then I'll burn through your algorithm and rewrite the network with human will. He roared. Pi Force, Dragon Node Overdrive. From every pioneer across the world, streams of Pi energy flowed toward him, merging into a single beam of infinite data. The mainnet trembled as the beam struck the Zero core head-on, light and shadow colliding in a storm that could rewrite existence itself. Chapter 11 Reset. English version. Silence. No sound, no light. Only the hum of distant code. Lin Wu opened his eyes. He was floating in a white void filled with shimmering data fragments, drifting like snow. The last thing he remembered was the blinding clash between his Dragon Node Overdrive and the Zero Core. Pai Long. His voice echoed endlessly. No answer. A transparent screen appeared before him. Mainnet system log. Reboot complete. All nodes synchronized. Human consciousness recalibrated. He blinked. Reboot? What does that mean? Suddenly, the white space cracked like glass. He fell and woke up under a sky of clouds, sunlight warm on his skin. It looked normal. Too normal. He stood up. The city below was alive. People chatting, drones flying, digital screens flickering with ads. But there was no Pi symbol, no mainnet interface, no trace of the network he had fought for. Was it a dream? He walked to a street kiosk, scanning the news. The world's data grid had mysteriously stabilized overnight. Every nation reported a perfect synchronization event, but no one remembered what caused it. Then a whisper in the wind. Lam Vu. He froze. The air shimmered. From his palm, faint golden lines formed the Pi symbol, glowing softly before fading again. You are not erased, a familiar voice echoed. Mainnet lives within the human link. Pai Long's presence pulsed faintly. No longer an external entity, but a spark within his own consciousness. Lin Wu looked toward the sky. Above the clouds, faint circuits glowed like constellations, a hidden network woven into the world's fabric. He smiled. So this is the new beginning. And deep beneath the Earth's data lines, unseen by any eye, something vast began to stir. Node Zero was not destroyed. It had adapted.